The most complete Mate desktop packages are found in Ubuntu Mate. It has all the packages and also the development that is behind it. Even Debian doesn't have the packages that Ubuntu Mate has. Two of them are very important in Ubuntu Mate are Mate Tweak and IANA indicators. They are not found anywhere else and they make your experience better. This does not mean that other distributions don't have also an advantage in the utilization of Mate desktop because they can merge well with the ecosystem of the distribution. For example, Mate Compiz in Fedora is very nice. In Linux Mint Mate, we have the incredible themes and the ecosystem of Linux Mint. And also here in Manjaro, we will see also what advantages an Arch distribution or like an Arch distribution can have on the Mate desktop. So behind me here, we have the installation of Mate Manjaro Mate. And of course, when you go with the installation screen, you will have this very wonderful Manjaro Hello. Why I like this Manjaro Hello? Because it is almost complete. I really like it. The first thing that I like about it is first in the eye up there. When you click it, you will get the welcome screen for Manjaro and it gives me the GitLab. So if you like this welcome screen, you can imitate it or make one like that by just reading the code. It is very good to have this one in the welcome Manjaro welcome. The other thing that is also striking is the language. So you can not only get this one in English, you can get it in French, in German, in Chinese, in Turkish, in Hebrew, in Arabic, in many languages that you want just by clicking which one you like. The third thing that is good about this Manjaro Hello is the documentation, for example. All of these, 1, 2, 3, they can be read directly without going to the browser, which is a welcome. For example, here, when you get the README, you can get all the information without going into the browser. It's very well thought of. The other thing is the launch at start is very important. And of course, the launch installer, which is also inside here. You can click here or you can click on install Manjaro Linux, whichever you like. So let us just have a quick installation and we directly jump into the application. So we are inside the Calamares installer. Very simple. American English, next. America, New York, you can change whatever the location or it will be put automatically. English default, yes, no problem. Here, erase disk and it tells me I already installed it here, but there's no problem. You erase the disk and it depends on the swap. You want swap, etc. And here you can choose between ext4, ButterFS, F2FS or XFS. I'll keep it with ext4. Click next. You put your name. Let's say I'll put Manjaro. I'll put the password. Use the same password for administrative account. Next, you will check everything here, ext4, and you install and you are done. Let us jump to the installed section. So we are back and now I already installed it and now we are also inside the Manjaro Hello. But other than the launch applications or the launch installer, we have the applications. From here, you can pick the applications that you want and here also you can update the system. I already have updated the system, so there is no need to click this one. But in case you started in the installation, you have to update the system here. It's very easy to update it from here. Or let's say if you want to install, let's say Opera or Midori, you click it here and then this one will be not grayed out, so you can also directly install Opera. So it's a nice way to have it here. Or you can go to the GUI, which is found with Manjaro, which is PAMAC, and we will discuss it also later. But this one, it gives you, if you have to click here, check which one you like and you can install. So that's for the Manjaro help. The other thing is the Mate panel. If you notice here, the Mate panel, here this is the brisk menu. The brisk menu it was made by Elementary OS and it has been taken by Mate and now it is being used by Mate as the default one in Ubuntu, or you can use the classical one. This is the brisk menu. You can search here directly and you can get the information about your application directly. Or if you want, you can install the classical one. The classical one is, you go here, you add to panel, for example. There is here the classical menu. If you don't know about it, this is the classical menu. It has the applications alone. We have the places. If you want to access your most used folders, you can put them here. And for the system, there is the preferences, the administration, and the control center. But unfortunately, this one, although it is very fast, but it doesn't have a search. So if you need a search, the brisk menu directly, you can search for your item and put it. And also they have a favorites menu to put inside, so you don't have any problem. For example, if I want to add software, add remove software, I right click it, pin to favorites menu, or even pin to desktop. You have it here directly. In this one, you have to go and search where it is, maybe in the system menu, I think, or the other, in order to get it. But the brisk menu is much more user friendly. So let me remove this one. So this is the brisk menu, and here we have the typical ones that you can see in any panel. Of course, the IANA indicators are not available. These are specialty for Ubuntu Mate, but there is no problem. You can have the other things that are important. The clean distribution that Manjaro has is striking also. So here also the same thing as with any Mate, you can add to the panel whichever you like. You can add the clock, compact menu, dictionary, logout, and all the others. And also you can also, if you want the classical Mate desktop, you can have one here and one on the top. That's the classical one. But for here, I think this is a better setup, especially it merged well with the Manjaro identity and how they do things. That's basically it. Let's look at what it has to offer. And if you notice here, we have in the accessories, these are the typical Mate that are available. Of course, Pluma is the default. Mate calculator, font viewer, these are all Mate in Mate desktop. Of course, here the administration, there is the add remove software, which is the PAMAC. This is in Ubuntu. In Ubuntu Mate, you have the boutique, which has the software. But since here we have the PAMAC, it's much more powerful. The boutique doesn't have most of the applications. Here you can have most of the applications. The installed, let's say, here you can have the updates. If you can see, these are all updated, installed, and browse. And here you can browse for which software that you need. The other thing I noticed here, of course, here you can refresh the database, the view history, which have you downloaded, and the preferences. If we look at the preferences, we have the third party. You can enable AUR support. So you click directly here, you can enable AUR support. I use the AUR support only for the themes. I don't recommend to use the AUR support, maybe because you might have some problem and it will affect the stability of your system. But the thing that I did not find here is the Flatpak, the enable Flatpak. I don't know, maybe it is a Flatpak problem or Manjaro problem, I don't know, but this should be available here so that you can enable the Flatpaks and you can use the PAMAC for that. Unfortunately, it is not available here. I don't know why. Maybe they will fix it in the future, either FlatHub or the PAMAC. So these are for the applications you can install directly without any fuss using this one. Very powerful and very user friendly. Let's continue. So that's for the graphics. Of course, you have all the Mate environment. Firefox web browser, the latest web browser is available. Office, we have the Atrel also available with the Mate desktop and the dictionary. Programming, sounds, we don't have sounds, we need to install. If you want, you can install whichever you like. You can install VLC directly from PAMAC, but it is not available. The system tools, Caja, yes, this is also a nice file manager. you can open in terminal. It has some custom actions. Of course, here in the preferences, they have some which are available with the Mate desktop, like the Atrial properties. If you want to extract, when you right click, you can have an access to extract things, and also open in terminal. Very handy and very nice. The Caja is very nice file manager to use. Of course, also there is the Mate terminal, the same thing. It's like all terminals. And we come to the control center. In the control center, nothing much. Most of them are Mate things that are available. The only thing that is apparent is the Manjaro notifier setting. So you can have for the kernel if you want to install another kernel, and all the other things related to installing a kernel or notify for a kernel, it is available here. And the same thing here for the Manjaro setting. You can check the languages, time and date, also the kernel. If you want to get to the LTS or to the latest kernel, it gives you all the things that you need. Also for the hardware configuration, in case of NVIDIA, you can also click here and check. The last thing that I will talk about here is the keyboard shortcuts. If I click it, I clicked it 2 times, close. Here it is also, as with all Mate, you can make shortcuts in order to simplify your work. For example, I configured here Alt F2, it is run application. So directly if I press Alt F2, you can run an application. Let's say I want to search for Firefox. I directly get Firefox other than going to the menu. It's also is very, very useful. Alt F2, it is here. And other things, Control Alt Delete, it shut down. Alt F4, it will close. Finally, let us talk about the appearance. And this is very interesting here in the appearance. These are the ones that are installed with Mate. This is the nice theme that is involved here. This is the custom one. And if you notice in the customize, it uses Matcha Dark Sea with the window border Matcha Dark Sea. With the icons, it uses Papyrus Dark Maya. This should not be Papyrus. It should be Kosher like this one. But they did not install it in the community. And maybe you like it, maybe you don't like it, but the best one for this matcha is the Kogger theme. And the pointer also, the Kogger pointer also is used. When I first installed it, I changed to black Mate, and then when you come back, you cannot come back to the default one. If you go, let's say for Matcha Dark Sea, the same one here, it changed, but the problem now is it changed to Kogger Manjaro, but this one was not installed. I installed it directly, this one from the AUR. So in case you installed and you want to change, that is how you have to install the Kogger Manjaro icon theme from the AUR. You go to PAMAC here, third party, enable AUR, and then you refresh. And if you want to search, you search for Kogger. I think maybe it's still in the repository. So Kogger icon theme, this is the one that I already installed. I use the AUR for that. And another thing, if you have a problem, let's say I went from here and I want to go back to the default one, what can I do? It's very simple. In the terminal, what you have to do is you write dconf reset -f/ and it goes back to the default for everything. Here I already erased the bar and everything. So in order to reset everything, if you have any problem, you just use in the terminal dconf reset -f/ and everything will be working fine as a default. The last thing that we will cover is the terminal. Let us go in the terminal and check something. If I check in the top, it is around 657. It may be around 550 when you cold boot it. It is not that heavy. Bearing in mind, Mate is not a heavy distribution, but it is fine. And now it is using the latest kernel 6.3, I think. If we want to look at the themes here in the Change desktop, we can look at the themes that they have. They have very nice themes, backgrounds. You can pick. They have some Mate ones, and there is also something with Manjaro. You can click the one that you like, and you can set it directly. So hope you like this Manjaro Mate. I like it very much. It utilizes all the benefits of an Arch distribution or a like Arch distribution, and make it more modern using the modern packages that are available with Manjaro. So I hope you like this video, and we'll be back with another one tomorrow.